Hey guys, so if you haven't already seen Mango's improved 3D or three-directional TNT Quarry, check that out first, because this design is going to be slapped onto the side of that machine, an add-on. This is an upgrade. So instead of having to have multiple accounts online to keep the entire machine rendered, especially if you're going across a map or more than one map, that would require multiple accounts, and especially if you're on PlayStation, like this design's specifically designed for PlayStation 4, could possibly work on PC as well. The main difference when you build his, you put minecart furnaces instead of minecarts, and that will stop it from falling off in PlayStation, at least until the aquatic update, and they patch that out altogether, so take use of it while you can. Now, for the add-on to hit this machine, for one, when you build it, you'll want to actually build it not perfectly lined up with that starter piston there, like he does. You'll actually want to shift it forward. Now, if you've already built it and you need to shift it forward, that's easy. Just place 2 temporary blocks here, so you can place an observer pointing up. That'll fire into this, causing this whole machine to shift forward. Then just remove the observer, remove your temporary block, you're good. Alright, and then when you build this whole machine, you'll do the same with this. Instead of lining it up with this block here and just going out, instead you'll actually go over a block here and you'll line it up with here. Best bet if you're doing a long distance is just see the distance, the y coordinates here, and if depending on which direction you're facing, you'll want the other coordinates side to side. And then you're going to, for doing this long distance, you're also probably going to not want to line them up the same spot over here. You'll probably actually want to come in about 30 blocks closer to the machine, so roughly over here or something like that. Build it over here, so that way when you want to shut this machine down, you actually don't need a second player. You can just get out of the minecart scaffolding across this, place in a non-movable block there, or you just place a redstone block there and it'll shut it down either way. And then when you want to start it up again, of course, though, you'll still need a second player because you'll have to be in the minecart and then they launch you. But yeah. Alright, so now let's get into the actual build itself. So after you've completed building his and you've swapped out the regular minecarts for minecart furnaces, you're going to go and tack on a block on the end of his machine. You're going to do a slime block, place an observer here, and then flip over here. You're going to place a piston on the side of that slime block facing this way. Temporary block, place a slime block, break the temporary block. Now you're going to want to go over and place another slime block here underneath that piston. Go 1 slime block, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 slime blocks in a row. Then you're going to want to put like a temporary block down below, so you can place on the side of it an observer facing up. Go over 2. Do the same thing, basically put a couple temporary blocks, place an observer facing up, get rid of those temporary blocks. And on the top, on the side, you're going to put around the top on this one side, you're going to place a piston, regular piston, facing this way, another regular piston. Then over here, you're going to want another regular piston on the very end, towards on the front side of this slime block, not on the top like those two are. Alright, then from there I'm going to go temporary block out 1 from this piston, slime block. You're going to want glazed terracotta on the side of there. You're going to want a slime block on the bottom here, glass, slime block up 1, 2, 3, and then an observer facing this way. Go around the side of that, place a regular piston facing this way, temporary block over, slime block, move your temporary block, and now you're going to slime block over, place another slime block. So that's 1, 2, 3 slime blocks. You're going to place an observer facing this way here, a sticky piston, place a glass there, and now that's the full machine. Now we need to make the second flying machine for the player to go inside. So we're going to go ahead and on the terracotta you're going to place a sticky piston. Oh, no, let's get rid of that. Sticky piston facing in. Another, you're going to place a temporary block there. Place a sticky piston face this way. And then place a temporary block here so you can place an observer facing down. Do the same on this side. Place a temporary block and observer face down. And remove our temporary blocks. There we go. And if it moves forward, just use flint and steel, and it'll shift it back. Well, I guess you would want to be back at that spot. So, but if you did build the bottom, just flint and steel is a good way to shift the machine forward or back. Be on the safe side. If you want to stop the machine from moving, just place a furnace here after you've gotten to that point. So now you got that portion done. The 2 pistons, 2 slime blocks. Oh, no, 2 slime blocks. There we go. Go over another slime block. Then on top of here, place a observer facing up. Now we're going to come on to the bottom of this machine, place a sticky piston facing this direction. Then we're going to come over 1 and down 1, place slime blocks 3 in a row across. Then we're going to come up 1, so you're going to make a U shape with the slime blocks. Then we're going to go and put a cobblestone wall here. And then to finish it off, you're going to put a rail, any kind, doesn't really matter, any rail in there, and then your minecart. Now for this to work and stay in place, you actually need some scaffolding. Not quite this much, I was going a little overboard, but I tested it and you don't need all that scaffolding. But you do need leaf block scaffolding in order to hold the minecart in place. Otherwise, it'll just fall out. So we place leaf blocks here if you want to start like that. And when the leaf blocks get pushed over by the slime blocks, they'll disappear. So it doesn't matter if you start down there, come up, and then work your way across. As long as in the end you have one solid row going across. And just do that as far down the map as you want until you're going to stop the machine. Keep in mind, if you don't stop the machine before the leaves run out, your minecart will fall off the machine. Unfortunately, it's a flaw with, or downside to building this on PlayStation 4, but that's a workaround to get around it. Now, you couldn't do that with the dual bomber here, the improved version of Il Mango's, because if you were to, make sure TNT is off, if you were to place your temporary blocks here, when that part of the bomber swoops past here, it would remove that block. This side, though, it would work. You'd be able to hold it in place, and you could use a regular minecart here and just scaffolding all the way across the map, but this side you would not. That's why we had to tinker with it and figure out that you have to use minecart furnaces. Now, if for some reason you didn't want to use the improved version and you're going to use the just the regular version, you basically tack it on the same way here, same exact way over there. And if you didn't want to use a minecart furnace with the single bomber version of this, that doesn't have that bomber there, you could. You just have to do scaffolding across all the way over here. Now, if your TNT is on or you cannot turn it off, don't place any block near that TNT, otherwise it will blow up. You have to turn TNT off in order to place a block there, because literally it's activated at the moment by that minecart on there. But, yep, that's that. Hope that helps. Till next time. See ya.